Hello guys, going to be going over the MLB PrizePicks slate for May 7th. On this Saturday, there are some doubleheaders, so there are actually 18 games scheduled for today. Now still, there's some weather issues with, I think it's New York and Philly, and then also Baltimore. So there are 3 games that could also, again, get postponed. And because there were so many games postponed on Friday, the board is kind of messed up. Like some of these pitchers are not scheduled to pitch in the game that they're going to. Like the first prop under strikeouts I like is Mitch Keller 4.5. I would take the over on this, but he's actually scheduled to pitch game 2, and they have him listed for game 1. So I don't think that's gonna count. I would think that they're going to hopefully move him and not just take him off when it's the game's gonna start. So hopefully we can take him for game 2. But if he's not adjusted for game 2, then you're just not gonna be able to play this. So just hopefully they fix the board, because a lot of these players aren't scheduled for the right game. They're not projected for the right matchup. So that also means that there are some players to take advantage of, though, on the hitting side. So I'll get to that later. But strikeouts, I don't think there's really anything, though. The rain outs possibly, and I think most of these lines are pretty sharp. I think they actually just did something with the board. They added Connor Overton game 2, but yeah, they're changing some stuff up. I actually hit up the support teams. I think they're adjusting. Like Dane Dunning's not scheduled to pitch. Nick Lodolo's not pitching either. So they're adjusting some stuff. I'll update the changes later, but we're going to go into pitching outs. So pitching outs, I think there is one play, and that's going to be all the way down here with Marco Gonzalez. 17.5 pitching outs. I'm taking the under on this. Marco Gonzalez hasn't really been that great. The one thing is that he's not a strikeout pitcher, and so he's going to be pitching to contact, and he induces soft contact. That's how he is able to get through games. But this year, you look at his numbers, he is allowing a pretty high hard hit percentage compared to the previous seasons, and also his K rate slightly down. His expected ERA is higher than usual, so there are just some red flags, I would say, for him. And he's just not typically someone that is the most consistent guy. And so I think needing him to go 6 innings is a little bit tough. Tampa Bay against left-handed pitching, like Tampa Bay is a good team, and you look at them against left-handed pitching, they're ranked 6th in WRC plus. So definitely a tough spot for him. So I think the under on this one is good. And then for fantasy score for the pitchers, there are 2 plays here. One of them is going to be Nick Pavetta, under 25.5 against the White Sox. So Nick Pavetta has been pretty awful, honestly. And the one thing is that he has a high strikeout rate. I was debating on if I should take his Ks, but I think just the fantasy score is going to be the better play here, because if he's not having a good year, expected ERA of over 7, like I think I'd rather go with that. Also has a high walk rate. I would just rather take the fantasy score, because he can hit the Ks and still give up a bunch of earned runs. So I think fantasy score 25.5, just a little bit high. The White Sox, their numbers against righties aren't really that great, but also you have to remember that they've been dealing with injuries. So now with a healthy lineup, or mostly healthy, that they should be able to. There's no run total for this one, but I just kind of like the spot. I think he's projected a little bit too high, so taking the under on that one. And then the second prop is going to be Sean Manaea, 32.5 fantasy score, and this one's going to be an over. So you look at the Marlins against left-handed pitching, WRC plus, they have the 6th worst WRC plus at only 80, and then you look at his K percentage for the Marlins, 29.6, almost 30%, leading the league in that against left-handed pitching. So Marlins just aren't good against lefties, which is kind of weird because they have a lot of righties. But I mean, Josh Chisholm, Jesus Sanchez, they do have some lefties, Joey Wendell as well, that they're just not gonna they're gonna be neutralized. And Sean Manaea, he's a quality pitcher, and he has some days he just has his good stuff. So hopefully this is the night for him to be having one of his nights. And 3.2 run total. The win, I think, is a little bit in question because Pablo Lopez has been really solid this year. But definitely the Padres still have a better offense than the Marlins. So I will take the fantasy score for Manaea here on the over. And then I actually didn't get a chance to look at first inning runs. So, I mean, off the top of my head, I would think the Blue Jays and Guardians because it's Bieber against Gossman. That one's going to be a good under. That's going to be game 1. Yeah, I think how many games? 4, 8, 12, 16, 17. So only one game's not listed. I'm just going to give a quick look on this because I forgot to check it before I started recording. I think unders, overs. Yeah, that Blue Jays Guardians game looks really good for game 1. For the under, Mets Phillies is possibly going to get rained out. So that one, if it goes, then yeah, I do like it. A little interest in Mats and Webb. So Cardinals Giants, that's up here. That would be just a lean. And then Brewers, I don't think that one's going to be up. That's probably, yeah, that's the lock of the day if they put Burns against Max Fried up. Marlins Padres, yeah, that one, an under, I kind of like. Yeah, so I'll say those 3. So Blue Jays Guardians game 1 is my favorite. And then probably Giants Cardinals second. And then Padres Marlins third. So on to hitting fantasy score next. So we're going to start off with Jorge Polanco. Rather than scrolling through 18 games, I'm just going to type it in. Jorge Polanco, 5.5. They're going up against James Caprillion. Caprillion has been awful recently. Recently as in like the past year. He seemed decent at first, but he's just not good. Like, I'm just going to look him up right here. He's just not a good pitcher. I don't know how else to put it. Like, a lot of blue, that's something that you love to see if you're picking the hitting side. And I mean, that walk rate, it's not going to continue. He's only had, I think, 1 start, but high hard hit rate. Like, the Twins, they're back at home. They have 4.4, I believe, is the run total. Yeah, wind's kind of blowing horizontally. And Jorge Polanco with no Carlos Correa right now is going to be batting right behind Byron Buxton. So should be able to get RBI opportunities there. Yeah, I think 5.5 is just a little bit too low. Caprillion isn't that good. I think they're kind of priced him for maybe a different pitcher or something, a switch hitter. So always going to have the platoon advantage. So I really like that prop. And then we're going to go to Jose Altuve for the next against Eduardo Rodriguez, 6.5. So getting a platoon advantage, 6.5 righty lefty. I do like this spot. Altuve also has some speed, so he can definitely steal a base, even though it is against the lefty. Just, you get that platoon advantage. He's back now, healthy, having a lot of good bats behind him to drive him in if he is able to get on base. So I like this prop, just more than Bregman because he has some better numbers against Eduardo Rodriguez's pitch repertoire than Bregman does. And then now we're going to get into some of the good ones that I was talking about. So they were pricing some of these fantasy scores for different pitchers. So we're actually going to be looking at the Pirates. I know it sounds ugly, but you look at game 2. Brian Hayes, 6.5. Brian Reynolds, 5.5. Daniel Vogelbach, 4.5. So I think they put Nick Lodolo as the projected starter here, but it is actually going to be Robert Duggar, and Robert Duggar is nowhere near the pitcher that Lodolo is. And so we are getting a lot... hold on. Did I mistake... Duggar? Why does it say it's Rays? Or Mariners? Yeah, it is Robert Duggar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not on the Mariners anymore because MLB lists him as the projected starter for the Reds. Yeah, he's on the Reds. So, yeah, they just claimed him. Okay, so it is Robert Duggar. And Robert Duggar, he's just not a good pitcher. You look at his numbers, like, he's never been good. I don't know how he has a 2.18 ERA right now, but expect him to get hit hard. That K rate's going to go down. And because of that, like, this is a very good sneaky spot. You have the Pirates going into Cincinnati, and that is a huge ballpark boost for the Pirates here. And I mean, Hayes and Reynolds are their best bats. Vogelbach is a really good one as well, especially now because he's against a righty. Duggar's a righty and Lodolo is a lefty, and so they were pricing him to face the lefty. And now he's getting the righty matchup, platoon advantage 4.5, just the wrong projection totally. So really like Vogelbach. Reynolds would be next, and Hayes, just because the projections, they're lower projected. But yeah, I really do like all three of these guys. Don't hate it if you want to stack, because you can only stack max of 2. Definitely like doing that in your entries. And then the next one, also one of my favorite plays, it's going to be Shohei Ohtani. That's going to be over 6 fantasy score. They're going with Josiah Gray, and Josiah Gray has some pretty significant splits. So he xFIP of 5.49, really not that great. He's definitely been better though this year. So I wouldn't, take that into, the heaviest of consideration. But Ohtani, a lefty, Josiah Gray has a 52% fly ball rate, 47% hard hit rate. Ohtani absolutely crushes the ball. As long as he doesn't strike out, Gray definitely doesn't strike out lefties as much as righties, and just the platoon advantage. The Angels are absolutely crushing righties this year. They're ranked 4th. They're not 4th. They're 3rd in WRC plus. They do strike out, but that's what you're going to get from some of these Angels hitters at the top of the lineup. And you got Taylor Ward, who's having an absolute breakout of a season, setting the table for these guys. Ohtani also, again, he has the ability to steal bases. Those 5 points are going to be just absolute gold if he just gets on base once. So really like Ohtani. And then hits and walks, total bases, nothing right now, but they are adjusting the board, so I'll check back that later. But runs and RBIs, it's going to start with Byron Buxton, 0.5. So talking about Polanco, just goes right in line with Buxton. If Buxton get on base, Polanco can drive him in. Caprillion, again, not a good pitcher. A righty, like the chances of Buxton being able to score or even just hit a solo himself or something, because he's absolutely been on fire. He's hit the over easily in a lot of the games so far, and just his speed allows him to score. And then we're going to go to the White Sox. Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, both of these guys over. So it just depends, they could both hit, but Tim Anderson leads off. Abreu hits a little bit behind him, but Abreu, much better hitter. Anderson, just be able to lead off. So if he gets on base with 0 outs, of course, there's more opportunities for his teammates to drive him in. So that would be how he hits the over on this. But Abreu is going to get the chances to drive other guys in. So, I like both of these guys. Nick Pavetta, again, not a good pitcher so far this year. So, just really like the White Sox today. Goes right in line with the Pavetta under fantasy score play. And then Taylor Ward over runs and RBIs as well. He's batting leadoff, and he's been absolutely lighting it up. He's batting like 361, and he has an insane 18% walk rate. Josiah Gray, his walk rate is 11.8, 10% against righties, and that's going to really come in handy if somehow, or Ward, he gets on base via the walk instead. Trout hitting behind him, Ohtani, Rendon. These are absolute sluggers that are going to be able to drive Ward in. So really like this prop. And then the last one's going to be a Wander Franco, 0.5 over as well. Seattle, again, Marco Gonzalez, not a good pitcher, pitches more towards contact. These Rays are going to be able to put the ball in play. Franco has speed. He can get into scoring position via steal. So I like this one. Just someone who also tends to hit the over more times than not. So that is the breakdown. I would say my favorites will be Shohei Ohtani, fantasy score over 6. Vogelbach, game 2, over 4.5. Taylor Ward, Buxton, both of those runs and RBIs over. And then the Blue Jays Guardians, game 1 with Gausman and Bieber, no runs first inning. So thank you guys for watching again. Sorry, I had some difficulties with this video with the board. issues with PrizePicks over there, and then also just the whole Robert Duggar thing. So thank you guys always for the support. Really seeing a lot of love. So really gotta appreciate all of you guys out there for watching these videos, leaving likes, leaving comments. Always happy to help on my end. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, or also you can find my Twitter, DM me or message me, tweet at me on there as well. Just have a good weekend. Hopefully we do have some better luck today on the Saturday slate. And again, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.